So this is my video for the UF 200 Venno reflection. So my favorite part of the class would probably have to be the group discussions. I thought that they were really valuable, and just being able to read the essays that we were given and read the comic books that we were given, write notes and think of our own conclusions, come up with our own conclusions for those ideas that were being presented to us, and then being able to discuss it in a group of people and figure out their interpretation of those same ideas was really, really interesting, just because you can come in thinking you have everything understood and you know what's going on, but somebody else just comes in with a completely different interpretation, and can change how you think or perceive the situation, or it just gives you the opportunity to collaborate those ideas, and maybe come up with a different interpretation with the two together. And so it was just a really great way to meet people also, and understand who understand different people. And I thought that was really valuable. I also did just in general really like the content of the class, and talking about comic books and analyzing those was really, really interesting for me. So I really liked that as well. um, I think that the most useful part of the class would probably be, again, the group discussions, just because it is just a really important thing in your life, is to be able to listen to other people and have conversations that you may disagree on. And especially for ethical and moral situations, it's more likely that you'll probably disagree on something. And so hearing different opinions is really important, and that gives us a very good opportunity to do so is in those small group discussions. Because if we're in the same group for the entire year or the entire semester, then we grow more comfortable with each other, and more comfortable sharing more honest opinions, um, and then we get more authentic conversations starting and ideas rolling. um, and I think that's different in a big group discussion, just because it's harder to talk in front of everybody, and so you get less people adding to the conversation, and then it can turn into the same people, me, just talking about their opinions all the time. So, and that's it defeats the purpose of trying to get all perspectives in. And so I really thought that the small group discussions were really important to the class. I think another really good part of it and useful part of it was probably the role playing activities. I really, really liked those, and they were stressful for sure, very stressful. But I think that if you do extend them and make them a longer process, where people have more just more of an idea of what's gonna happen, and more time to prepare for it. I think they were really, really cool, and they were a place where I felt very comfortable, and I really liked and I appreciated having that opportunity, um, to get in that kind of mind space, and present an issue and defend an issue like that. And I think it really just breaks up kind of the monotony of note taking and test taking constantly. And it just adds a different dynamic to the classroom that I think is really valuable. I think the least useful, I don't know, would probably be the Watchmen reading. Or, I don't know, maybe Young Justice. Controversial, I know. I think it was a great way for people to kind of get into the comic book thing, um, or get into comic books if they aren't really that knowledgeable of it. But in general, I I think that there could be more varied conversations and dynamic conversations with the Watchmen than there was for Young Justice. Um, so while I really enjoyed that comic book series and reading that, and I think it was a good place for people to kind of get started, I feel as though the Watchmen probably could have had more maybe intense, just ethical conversations. And so, for this semester, how it was set up, I think the Watchmen was probably the least useful. But I think that like the Young Justice maybe could go. So, I know, controversial. My major takeaway would be that probably just like how comic books are really effective in communicating culture's views on ethics and diversity, and how representation is involved, and like how we as a culture, like what we as a culture are all right portraying, and how you can see that in comic books as it is like a capital we like it is in a capitalistic environment with the point of making money, and so they're going to try to do what is going to make them money, and you can reflect what is acceptable for the times in comic books. And so it's a great, I think, analysis. And so that would just be my major takeaway. It's just like that you can really analyze comic books to see the history and present day environment of our culture and how it can reflect ethics and diversity. So thanks for a great semester.